right, who's dancing with me? I haven't done this in a little while. Let's see. Go the other way. I just had to mix it up a little bit, you know? It's like, please don't let this be the episode where MB Ralph's because she was spinning around too much. Hi, how you doing? It's certified personal trainer Mary Beth Rockwell coming to you from the Next Fitness Thing. Welcome aboard to the Next Fitness Show, our weekly party where we get together and chat about all things wellness and all things about the Next Fitness Thing, which is our awesome workout platform as well, where you can find us, thenextfitnessthing.com, and get in a workout or a meditation session or a stretch or whatever you like. We'd be happy to have you with us on the show this week. Hanging with us for the entire show, we have the lovely and talented and awesome teammate Daniela, throwing it down from New Jersey. Hi, Daniela. What's up?
Hi, Mary Beth. Nothing. How are you?
I am great. It is we're so happy to have you with us because we're going to be chatting about how you have embarked on a workout accountability journey with us, going a little deep. And we're going to get your thoughts on our You and New program, which is in full effect. So we cannot wait to pick your brain a little bit on that one. And you can hang for the whole show, we've established, right?
Yes,
I love
definitely.
it when the guests can hang for the whole show. Yes. All right, sweet. Otherwise on the show, we have a mid-show stretch break and a move of the week, as is customary. We do have a mailbag question this week. Thanks for stepping up and sending us in a mailbag question, TNFT at thenextfitnessthing.com if you have any mailbag questions for us. They don't have to be necessarily health and wellness related, but you know, we're pretty equal opportunity around here. We have some announcements about some things in the making here at TNFT. We're also going to have an interesting little button at the end of the discussion. And stay tuned for that. That's going to be a good discussion. That's all I can say for now, I don't think. But anyway, if you want to find us, I mentioned thenextfitnessthing.com. You are also welcome to check in on our Facebook group, which is always available to you 24/7. So that is facebook.com/groups/the next fitness thing. In the live chat, we got Megan here. Carol says, yay, New Jersey. And hi, Daniela. Woohoo. And yeah, if you're with us live, feel free to chime in on the discussion as well. We always love to hear your thoughts. And if you're checking out the recording of this, welcome to you too. We're super glad to have you here, but we do go live every Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. If you can join us, we'd be happy to have you live, but that's why we record it, just in case you can't. All right. And then please like our video. Throw us a thumbs up right now. I point down to the thumbs up. It should be under there somewhere. And then share our videos if you think somebody you know would learn something from them or get something maybe fun out of them. That's cool too. And then hit the notification bell if you would like to be notified anytime we put something new on this here YouTube channel. We do that a lot. And I did like, share, subscribe. That's the other thing. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And then another thing that we're trying to do to help us grow here on our YouTube channel is get our what's called your watch hours up. So the more of our videos that you can watch, let them roll the whole way through, because sometimes you get dinged if you watch like a piece of it. So try to just let it roll the whole way through if you can. And that in itself will help us grow as well. So thank you very much for everybody that's doing their part in that regard. All right, let's get Daniela back up in here. And let's share and care with Daniela. There she is. All right. Well, Daniela, first off, how is Jersey life going right now?
Jersey life is going well. I'm going to give Carol a shout out too from New Jersey. And
Yeah, Jersey girls.
yeah, the weather is improving. It's actually a very nice day out here today, so I'm embracing it.
Nice. All right. Yeah, it was rainy and garbagey here in San Francisco just until this morning, and now it's still cold, but it's getting better. Okay, so you are with us because you've been with us at the Next Fitness Thing as a teammate. Alexa says the same as in LA with the weather, and San Francisco and LA are kind of twinsies today. All right. You've been with us, Daniela, as a teammate for a while, which is what we call, for those of you who don't know, our TNFT members are called teammates because we're all in this accountability crew together in this community, which is the backbone of all that we do around here. So give us, if you can, in a nutshell, Daniela, what has your experience been? How you found your way to us? And then what made it stick for you?
Sure. So I was a member of the previous platform, and really enjoyed the live classes and just the sense of community. And I didn't want to lose that. So when there was an effort to continue that in another platform, I was all about it. And
Yay.
it really is a unique community, a special one where you do feel a part of it. You do feel the support. Recently I was doing my 5K, and, there was a group of people just cheering me on, and it was something so special and motivating and inspiring that I haven't really found anywhere else. So that's kind of what brought me here, and kind of what's definitely kept me here.
We're so thrilled to hear that it's meant so much to you. And again, we just recently finished our Gotta Have Heart 5K. We do a 5K once a quarter. So I'm going to remind you again that we're going to have one coming up here pretty soon. We'll be announcing imminently. Maybe not today, but imminently. And yeah, that if you've never taken a virtual 5K with us, you're missing out. So, and Daniela just spoke testament to that. So thank you very much for reinforcing that for us. Now, you're pretty good about working out, but apparently you took the opportunity, I know you did, to kind of up your game a little bit, because when we started the new year, we here at the Next Fitness Thing launched our You and New program, which is, aside from the classes that we teach and the services that we've brought to this point, this is an intense 12-week program. So you get a little bit more accountability, you get a little bit deeper toward nailing down your health and your wellness goals. So what was the deciding factor for you to sign up for the UNU program?
Sure. Yeah, exercise has been a part of my life for a while now, and it serves multiple purposes, right? The physical piece, but also the mental piece. And I felt like I was a bit off of my game. And as we started the new year, like a lot of people, I was like, I got to get back on track. I got to get back on track. But I was struggling still. And when I saw the announcement for the program, I said, you know what? This might be exactly what I need to get a bit more accountability and have someone else kind of reminding me of my need to keep moving. And it's done just that. So the program has given me a lot of support, between the one on the strategy sessions, and also the training sessions. And I've definitely been pushed out of my comfort zone. I'm going to give Alexis a shout out for pushing me out of my comfort zone, and
Yes.
things that different exercises that when I saw them come on a class, I would just do something else. She has me doing those exercises. So it's pushed me out of my comfort zone, but it's also the strategy sessions have also helped me develop a plan on the different classes and mixing it up so that I get all the things that I need to do met. So it's been a really positive experience for me.
Yeah, and you and I have had sessions together as far as
So
strategy goes
yes.
too. So it's fun to help you plan out, like, okay, what's going on in your life, and what pockets of time do you have, and what classes can get you where you want to go. And we always ask what your why is. What is your big why? Why is it that you have chosen to embark on your wellness journey? What, Daniela? What's your big why
Sure,
that makes you
probably my
show up when
son.
you don't want to?
Yeah, so I think I shared with you, Mary Beth, and with Alexis, my son has special needs, and that's my why, right? To be here for as long as I can for him, and to be in a position to keep up with him, right? So that's really my why, but also just for myself too, just to put myself in the best position to, have energy, live a long life. So yeah, those would be my biggest whys.
All around great stuff. And yeah, we say this a lot, but it's really, really true. It is not selfish to take care of your needs, so that then you're going to be better equipped to take care of the others in your life who depend on you, and your boss and your partner and your siblings and your kids and whoever it is, your elderly parents that you might be caring for. There's a lot of that going on around here. So it takes taking just a few minutes for yourself is definitely going to help you with your mindset, with your overall health and your well-being. So Danielle, I love that answer in many, many ways.
Thank you.
With the new You and New program, what has been, you talked about, there are private training sessions that you get, and you mentioned Alexis is kicking your booty, so way to go, Alexis, keep that coming. The strategy sessions, what do you find that you get out of a strategy session that for somebody who might not have taken, like, why would I take a strategy session? I'm just here to work out.
Yeah, so for me, I have a tendency to let life get in the way. So the strategy sessions really help me sit down and force me to look at what my week looks like, look at things that might be in there, and find classes and a plan that works. That, there's really no excuses, because I've had a time to sit down and focus on it, rather than just haphazardly saying, okay, well, it's 5 o'clock, let me see what's going on, right? So it allows me a set time to plan the schedule, and make it likely more to happen than if I didn't do that.
Right. And there's another aspect of this too that I wanted to shout out, that if you're taking live classes with us here at the Next Fitness Thing, your crew is expecting you to show up. Like if you sign up for a class and people know that you regularly take this class at this certain time, and it's like Daniela doesn't show up, it's like, where's Daniela? So everybody looks forward to, and that's another extra level of accountability because your crew is going to be looking for you, and you're there for them, and they're there for you. And I just love that about our community. Into the chat. Um, Everybody in the chat is saying, Daniela, you're crushing it. So see, that's what I mean.
Well, I
That's this crew's
appreciate
just jumping
that.
on in here and
I
saying, go
appreciate that.
Daniela.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you were to come across somebody in your life, maybe that is on the struggle bus with their workouts, let's say, and you had like 30 seconds to convince them, like, maybe you should sign up for UNU, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that it helped me. And even, I have the best intentions every day to do the workout, to eat well, but to have someone, a program behind you to help you really does make a difference, and that you don't have to do it all by yourself.
You got a team behind you, yep, to give
Yeah.
you that extra kick when you need it, the extra love when you need it. We cover all those bases. So, and Danielle, I like to ask whenever a teammate is a guest on the show, quick lightning round question for you. Favorite TNFT class and why? I know I sprung this on
I
you at the last
enjoy
second.
the
Right?
Yeah, I enjoy the walking classes. I have to be honest with you. I enjoy being able to walk and listen, in the brain teaser and the rhyming ramble. That was a tongue twister there. So I do like all the classes. We had the connections walk. So I probably find most enjoyment in the walking classes.
Awesome. Yeah, our walking classes are so fun. And again, if you've never taken a walking class with TNFT, again, you're missing the boat. Also, part of you and new that we didn't talk about earlier, just recently we added in, we have nutrition coaching, and RD Sharon B, our registered dietitian, is here and says Daniela has done a nutrition session as well. How did that go? What came to light in your nutrition session, if you don't
Yeah,
mind
I
sharing with
did,
us?
and I apologize for not mentioning it. That was fantastic. Obviously eating is a big part of healthy living, and I was able to get some really good insights into some of the things that I was doing that maybe needed some adjustments, as simple as switching when I have my morning shake. That has been helpful. So yeah, that was something that I also really found beneficial, and accounted, just as one of my one-on-one sessions would be. So that was really helpful. And also the group sessions that we have with other folks in the UNU program. I don't know the exact terminology, but those have been really helpful just to
Accountability
hear.
crew. Yeah.
Accountability crew. They have been
Yeah.
really helpful, and just hearing from other teammates that, are kind of going through very similar things, and just getting that, again, additional support.
And that's a great thing that you bring that up. Thank you. I was going to bring in the accountability crew as well as before I forget, and this is important too. We also have life coaching sessions with our own trainer, Kathy Rodriguez, here as well. So that's an option that you can take in UNU as well. But I had a point. What was it? It'll come back to me. Oh yeah, accountability crew. Yeah. So when you're working out on your own, if you're doing virtually, it can kind of be, you kind of feel like you're in a vacuum, and you kind of, even though you have support behind the scenes, like you don't really know who you're working out with. Accountability crew is an option for all of the people who are in the UNU program to chat and get to know each other a little bit better, and share victories, and celebrate successes, and pump each other up when they're down. And I think it's a really cool part of the UNU program as well. So I am glad you're getting some good things out of that. Alexis is going to be coaching, leading the next accountability crew coming up next week, right, Alexis? Is that correct? I think.
Sorry, I was having trouble with the buttons.
That's
On
okay.
St.
We got you.
Patrick's Day, yes.
St. Patrick's Day accountability session. All right, so sweet. And if anybody wants to join us, there's always room. This is an ongoing program. We started it officially this past January 6th, but anybody can join at any time. It is evergreen, as we like to say. So if you would like to check this out, if you'd like to get some more information, you can head to our website, thenextfitnessthing.com/UAnew. We'll take you right to the page where it's got all the info and the signups and everything you need to know. Payment plans are available because it is a 12-week investment, and we know that stuff is going on, so we try to make it friendly for everybody in that regard, and we're happy to work that out with you. So Daniela, we're thrilled that you jumped into our inaugural UNU session. And I cannot wait to see where this takes you. And thank you so much for being on the show. You're not going anywhere, right?
No, but thank you
All
so
right.
much for having me.
We are thrilled, absolutely. Finally, we got you on the show because like, Daniela would make a great guest. So, okay, so let's head on to we have some movement opportunity, right? So it's mid-show stretch, break, and move of the week, and we have some opportunities for you to get a little bit more mobile and stretchy on the first one because it's a stretch, of course. This is for hamstrings and rib cages, and this is kind of a multitasker. This next thing, we actually have 2 videos for you, and Veronica is our demo model for all of the videos today. So yay, Veronica! We love Veronica. This is your half split stretch. So you're starting this on one knee, which is right underneath your hip. The other leg is extended, and you might want to keep a little soft knee if you have tight hamstrings, as I like to say. But you can either round it forward like Veronica is, or you might choose to flat back it forward. The hamstring is getting a nice stretch on this one. And then also, depending, again, if you're rounding, you get something in your back. You're also getting some hips in here as well. And Alexis, you picked this video, I believe. So why did you pick this video, and what's the benefit?
I just love seeing how Veronica keeps her front foot active. She's so
Yeah.
good about that. Like, this stretch works the best when you keep energy through your toes, whether it's pointing your toes or flexing your toes back. Dorsiflexion is what we're calling this. But basically it makes it so you're activating the backside of your leg while you're stretching the backside of your leg. So I really love how she does that in this video. Veronica's really flexible, and if it doesn't look like for you, it doesn't look like that for a lot of people. So don't compare yourself to Veronica. I do want to point out that if you need, if this is challenging for you, like not everybody can bow with their knee down, I mean, their nose on their knee.
Right.
So if that's you, that's normal. And what I would suggest for that is to have some kind of block or whatever you can, something that is a stationary object that's stable for support, one on either side of your front leg, so that you can put your hands on that as you bow forward. That way you don't have to try to access the floor with your fingertips.
That is a great cue. Having something thick books could do the trick as well if you don't have yoga blocks on standby. Anything to give you that little extra height. And then we have an add-on to this, which I love this. I love both of these stretches, but this is a twisted half split. So Veronica has switched her forward leg in this video, just so you're not missing things and thinking, wait a minute, how'd she get in there? So she's got the other leg forward now, but she is reaching to the outside of her outstretched forward leg and twisting and opening up this whole side of the rib cage on the opposite side of her body. And maybe I like to suggest, if it feels good, to shift the back hip out just a little bit more. You get a little bit deeper into your hip that way. If it feels good, you don't have to. It doesn't feel good, of course. But of course, I hope you're doing some of this with us, team, those of you who are watching us right now. And I hope you've switched sides, because we didn't mention that on the other side. But Alexis, on the twists, what are your thoughts?
I love that too. This one I find really challenging to physically do, especially to reach the ground. So I like to even do this sort of close to the wall or the couch or something, so that I can, when I do the twist, I really do have something, even something higher than yoga blocks, that can support, because accessing the ground on this can be really challenging. But it feels so good in the side body, in the glute. And it also is really helping you get into different places in your, like, not only in your glute, but all the way down into your hamstring. Your hamstring is multiple muscles. It's not just one. So changing the angle that you're stretching here will change which and how those are being stretched. So
exactly. I say that to my clients a lot, and my teammates as well, that is just like 1 inch one way or the other can help you feel something in an entirely different place. 1 millimeter even. It's just a small switch can change the way that you send your energy to various parts of your body. So you get to play around and experiment and find, this day I feel like doing it this way, and I'll sink a little bit out into my hip. And then this other day I'm going to work a little bit more on my hamstring, and you can totally switch it up the way it feels good for you. Daniela, do you mind rejoining us on screen? Because I just wanted to check in with you about how you feel about stretching, because we have a fair amount of it here at the Next Fitness Thing. So do you have a favorite stretch? Let me ask you that, Daniela. And here again, I'm putting you on the spot without any warning.
No, not at all. You know what? I probably should stretch more. I'm going to be as honest as I can.
Accountability for Daniela right here live.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And my hamstrings tend to get tight, so I try to do those stretches when I do stretch, but I definitely need to stretch a bit more.
Oh, well, I'm glad that we brought that stretch to you in that case. So well done.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for that. And then we're going to move on to the move of the week. We're going to, now that your hamstrings and your hips are a little bit more open, we're going to put them to use and get you stronger. And this is coming up. Once again, Veronica is on the video. And this is a reverse lunge with a twist coming up next. So not only are you getting lower body, you're getting some core as well here. So here's how we set up for your, and again, hope you're doing this with us. The reverse lunge with a twist. Veronica is stepping back. Check out her knees. She's getting close to 90 degrees on the front knee and the back knee. If you have any knee issues, you might want to make that a little less deep. So finding your pain-free range of motion always. Now, the trick to getting the twist on here, you're always rotating over your forward leg. So unless you want a little extra balance challenge, I'm going to say you could do it the other way. It's tougher though. So if your right leg is in front, you're twisting to the right. Veronica is holding a weight at her chest. You'll notice you could also do that body weight alone with your hands clasped is a good place to start. You could also split squat. So you'd keep your feet planted, and instead of alternating sides stepping back, you just keep your feet planted down into your split squat, rotate forward, back, and then do X number of reps on that side if you don't want to alternate, because that could be cumbersome when you're split squatting. But Alexis, here we go again. I'm going to jump in and ask you, what's the deal on this one? Why did you pick it?
Why did I pick this one? Well, this one, what I like about this move is the twist, because your spine is really meant to twist from your T-spine up. So it's your mid back and up. Mostly it is not a good idea to twist very much from your lower back. So this move, because you're twisting towards your leg, your hips are not going to turn in that direction. So it's somewhat impossible for you to actually rotate your lower back in that direction. So it's kind of forcing it as you do twist toward your front leg, it has to come from your T-spine and up. So if that's been something that you have been feeling is challenging for you, especially when you're doing more passive stretching and yoga, like maybe you're lying on your back, dropping your legs side to side, it's kind of hard to know if you're twisting from your mid back or if you're twisting from your lower back. So with this one, you know, you are twisting from your middle back and your neck, which is both good. That's what you want to do.
And I will point out a couple of things. If we were to flip Veronica 90 degrees toward the camera, she would have her feet hip width apart. So that's for your balance. If sometimes I see people doing this, trying to walk it on a tightrope, it's way tougher to keep your balance that way. So make sure you have that side to side distance between your feet. When you dig your front heel in as you stand, you're going to get more activation of your glute and your hamstring on the back side of your front leg. And you're also going to help protect your knee because you're not putting a lot of extra force on your knee that way. And then on your back foot, make sure that both feet remain pointing as parallel and forward as possible. Sometimes I'll see people with their back foot kind of turning outward, and then that will follow with putting your knee at an awkward angle possibly. And we're all about protecting knees around here. So hope you did it with us, team. And Daniela, since we again, we're gonna talk to you about this one. Do you like to lunge first and foremost? I know that's a loaded question, but how do you think about your lunges?
Yeah, no, it's not my favorite, but I will tell you this is one of the things. Alexis has me doing a lot of side lunges and stuff, so I've learned to like it a bit more.
There you go.
And Daniela's lunge form is fantastic, by the way. It's really good.
Thank you, Alexis.
It's true.
Let's celebrate Daniela. All right, cool. Let us, anything else on the rear lunge with a twist, or the reverse lunge with a twist, or step back lunge? They have different names, but same thing. All right, so let's move it along. We're going to dip into the TNFT mailbag now. Thank you, Daniela, and please stand by. We might be coming to you again later. But Carol has sent us another TNFT mailbag question. So if you have anything you'd like us to answer, send it to tnft@thenextfitnessthing.com. Now, Carol just came off of a knee issue, and Carol says, "Yay, I'm back to walking, but I will be in Flat, Florida, in quotes, this month. Are there any suggestions, tips, advice for getting back to hilly Jersey," with the Jersey girls representing again, that I should be, excuse me, excuse me, that I should be mindful of. I got choked up over New Jersey. I have no idea what I did to cause my knee injury, but I don't want to repeat it. All right. So, Alexis, I have some thoughts, and I know you do too. Do you want to go first?
I mean, I have so much to say about this one. I feel like it's like, okay, what do I want to say?
Same.
The two most important things to protect your knee, one is alignment, and two is strength. If we're going to out of three, it's mobility, but I'm going to just include that with alignment and strength. They kind of all go together. So what I would say is, one, make sure that your alignment is on with all your strength, not just with walking, but with all your strength, because it's going to help build the musculature in alignment. And two, make sure you build your strength. And in general, with knees, in general, and I can't speak to Carol's knees specifically because I am not a doctor to diagnose anything. And also, it's not really appropriate for me to even think I could do that without seeing you move anyway. But in general, most people are quad dominant, which means that the front of your leg is stronger than the back of your leg. Most people, the outer thigh is stronger than the inner thigh. So for most people, it will help support your knee to build strength into your posterior chain, meaning the back side of your body, so your glutes and your hamstrings, and to build inner thigh strength. So those are the side-to-side lunges that Daniela and I was talking about that I've been doing with her. So that's the starting place of what I have to say there. I could probably, as far as hills, I would say the part of the hill that tends to, there's a couple things going on with hills, but one is the downhill is usually what is painful in the knee, usually. So what I generally encourage with the downhill, and you have to kind of feel this for yourself and feel what's safe, is the part that actually hurts your knee, in my experience, in the downhill, is trying to keep the brakes on and go slow when you're on the downhill. So a couple of things you can do. One is slalom it. And that's something that I do all the time. I basically, instead of going straight down the hill, I will zigzag down the hill so that way I can go at a pace that I feel safe at and also mitigate the momentum of downhill. If you feel safe to do so, I would also encourage go with the momentum and kind of like let yourself go down the hill. Now, again, this is a case-by-case basis. I would not recommend that for anybody who has balance issues, or if you're worried if it's slippery, I wouldn't recommend that for a lot of reasons. But if it feels safe to do so, I know that it hurts my knees less if I kind of let myself go faster on the downhill without trying to like make myself go slow than it does for me to force it into being slow.
To that, I would add, generally, you don't want to lock out your knees when you're going down the hill. That's a lot of extra shock and force on your knees that you don't need. You may want to consider, if you're dealing with hills, getting trekking poles. So that way your upper body takes some of the load off of your lower body. And when Steve, my husband, and I were traveling in Italy and we were hiking all these trails and everything, everybody had trekking poles. And it's just like everybody put them to use. So that's something you might want to consider having in your workout equipment space. And you may want to spend a little bit more time warming up and cooling down as well when you're coming off of an injury as well, because your body just might need that little extra time to get into that frame of mind, or frame of body, as the case may be. And make sure, of course, that you listen to your body. Like Alexis said, you may want to experiment with things, but if anything doesn't feel right, if anything hurts, doctor, it hurts when I do this, don't do that, right? And if it continues to bother you, or if it flares up again, that's time maybe to go back to the doctor or a medical professional or a physical therapist that might be able to help you figure out what's going on in there. Because we are not doctors, as Alexis said, and we always give that caveat. So if anything is not right in your body, check with the doctor. All right.
Yeah. Can I mention one more thing?
Please.
Shoes is the only other thing I didn't think we mentioned. Just make sure if your shoes have a wear pattern in them, and that could be causing a problem. So just be aware of shoes. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. All right. Daniela, well, you're in hilly Jersey as well. So I'm going to ask you to weigh in again. Do you deal with anything in that regard? Do you like going up and down the hills, or is it what's the deal in your particular area of Jersey as far as that goes?
Yeah, no, I mean, by me, it's pretty flat. I don't deal with too many
Aha.
hills.
Okay.
So, but I try to take it slow whenever I'm dealing with them. I too have dealt with some injury to my heel, the plantar fasciitis that I'm still working through. So I try to be kind to any uneven, if I have any uneven services and stuff like that, just not to aggravate that anymore.
Good
Mhm.
answer. Good
Yeah.
answer. All right, sweet. So again, thank you, Daniela, for that. And if anybody else has any more questions, like Carol's awesome question, again, thank you, Carol, for sending that in. TNFT at thenextfitnessthing.com. All right. It
And
is
Carol's
time
in
for
the chat right
announcements.
now.
Oh,
Carol is saying, interesting about trekking poles. All good advice. Thank you.
yay. Glad we could
Hopefully we'll
help.
be all good when back home. Nice. Thanks, Carol. I'm so glad you were here
Enjoy
live to
Florida while
even
you're there.
get it. That's great.
Yes, exactly. All right, now we got announcements. We got things happening here at the Next Fitness Things. So let's dive into that. And first up, wait a minute, where are my notes? There we go. We do want to remind our peeps, I mentioned earlier that we're just coming off of our Gotta Have Heart 5K, which we recently finished. And the first thing we want to remind you about, if you were in that, is check out the final results, because they're all posted on our leaderboard on the website, thenextfitnessthing.com/heart5k, the same place you signed up for it if you were with us. So the final results are listed there, and that way we're going to save your results every time you show up for a 5K, so then you always have something to look back on the next time you join us for a 5K, and you can see, okay, I have this time to beat. And Daniela, again, since you're with us, you were just in the last 5K and you were on fire in that one. Tell us your 5K experience, if you could, please. Are you, Daniela, you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me?
There we go. Yes, we can hear you now. Cool.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'm sorry about that. The 5K
No worries.
experience was good. Again, having a plan is always helpful for me, and having the different classes throughout the week kind of planned out. And just the group support was tremendous. Like I said, when it came to my time to actually do the 5K, there were a number of teammates there with me, just cheering me on, and really helping me get through it. So, and just just simple things of finding your heart rate range where you should be, and kind of not going too fast too soon, and just all those tips along the way were super helpful.
Yeah, that's if you were in the training program leading up to the 5K too. So lots of stuff you can benefit from there. So head to the website, check out your results. And also we do want to remind you that the shirt, the adorable Gotta Have Heart 5K long sleeve wicking t-shirt, is still available for sale in the merch store. So grab yours if you didn't get it. It is merch.thenextfitnessthing.com. All of the merch lives there, not just the 5K. And we got some really cool stuff there, and more coming, by the way. Next, we have this weekend, we have our next TNFT community event. Once a month, we get peeps together. Even if you're not a TNFT member, you can take part in our Women's History Walk this month. It is going to be this coming Sunday, March 16th, 9 a.m. Pacific. Our awesome trainer Kacey is going to be leading this one. It's a 25-minute, no pressure walk. You just show up and move and join the discussion. And it's always a good discussion for Women's History Walk, because we have, not that we don't have dudes that support us and are members, but it's just like we have a lot of women with us, and we want to celebrate all of the women that are teammates and all the women that the teammates know and love and admire. And it's just a wonderful event. So please, if you haven't joined us, it is on our live class schedule. You can also find it by going to the website, the URL on your screen, thenextfitnessthing.com/women, plural. I will be there as a participant, cheering everybody on and contributing to the discussion as well, because women are awesome. I'm maybe a little bit biased. Next, we have the Walking Book Club for March. Kacey, also busy woman that she is going to be leading this one. This is a little bit later on in the month, so you got a couple of weeks left to finish this month's reading selection, which is the fantasy book, the Fourth Wing, not the Fourth Wing, by Rebecca Yarros. And it is a little long in the page length. So if you haven't gotten it yet, please do get it soon and start reading, because like I said, you got about 2 weeks as we're live to finish that. But the 40-minute Walking Book Club class, where y'all discuss the book, is coming up on Sunday, March 30th, 1 p.m. Pacific time with Kacey. And all of our book club information is available on the URL. It's on your screen once again, thenextfitnessthing.com/book club, including links to procure the books as well, if you're looking for a place to track them down. And then we had one more thing we want to remind you about, and something we're gonna push off until next week.
Can I mention one thing with the book club?
Yeah, please.
We just published all of the books for Q2. So up through June. So if you are loving book club, or if you just want to know what the books are that are coming, all of the books up through June are now up there, including June's book, where I'm going to be the guest leader of the book club in June.
That's right.
And it's a
Woo!
fitness related book. And so
Yes.
just saying, check out the books that are coming up on the book club. Just, you can go ahead, basically, if you want to.
Yeah, awesome. So you get a head start if you want to get ahead on your reading.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay. Next thing is our AMA walks are back on the schedule. We took a little break, but they're back on. And this recent week, we had team leader Dr. Sophia at the mic answering your questions. So thank you, Sophia. Hi, if you're watching us. And then we're just about wrapping up on the 8th version of questions on our AMA walk, and we're about to head into the 9th one. So trainers and team leaders show up for these, and you can submit questions. If you have anything you'd like to ask us, you're welcome to submit to this URL, amawalk.thenextfitnessthing.com. Our trainers do them. Our team leaders do them. Kevin, our chief technical officer, does them. And Artie Sharon D., our registered dietitian, does them. So these are fun, and we get to know each other a little bit better. Daniela, I'm sure you've done some AMA walks along the way, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're fun to listen to. Definitely fun to listen to.
And they're just 15 minutes long, so you can squeeze them in whenever you got a little pocket of time. Well, something to listen to. It's like, hey, let's get to know Dr. Sophia today. So, so those go up. Different one goes up each Sunday once we have a fresh one in the pipeline, and Alexis is coming up very soon as well, doing one.
That's right.
And yay. Okay. Cool. And then normally at this point of the program, we would be doing our Freebie Friday giveaway. We had a little issue behind the scenes, so we will not be able to do Freebie Friday today, but we'll make it good by doing 2 winners next week. All right. So if you would like to be a winner on Freebie Friday, all you need to do is from the end of this show until next Thursday before next Friday's show, as we're live, comment on our YouTube videos. And anytime you comment, you get to get put into the wheel of fun, which we're not going to spin today, but we'll do it next week. And then somebody's going to win a very cool TNFT prize. So comment away. We love to hear your thoughts. And that goes for if they're on the recording too, remember. So, and it's not just this show, it's anything that we put up on our YouTube channel within the next week qualifies for that. So get to comment and team. Okay, we have one more thing to discuss. And Daniela, I would love for you to weigh in on this discussion as well if you have any thoughts. We wanted to chat about the sex and gender factor as far as it comes to health and wellness. So as I mentioned earlier, we here at the Next Fitness Thing, we love the dudes. We happen to have a lot of women around us, but we are having a really good discussion in our weekly TNFT trainer and team leader meeting yesterday. And Alexis, of course, I know you have some thoughts on this one as well. But did you know that men and women are different? I mean, we think about one size fits all a lot, and men and women have entirely different, not just sex, men and women, but gender as far as our gender roles. And it's like, for example, if you think you would like to go to if you are female presenting and you would like to go to the gym and lift heavy weights, and the dudes are looking at you like, you shouldn't be here. I mean, what are you doing? What are you here for? That's what we mean by like gender bias as far as health and wellness goes. So I just wanted to drop that in there really quickly, that anybody who wants to be doing whatever they want to be doing in the gym should, within reason, be doing what they want to do in the gym. But medically, there's also a lot of differences. And Alexis, I'm going to give this one to you because I know you're very passionate about this. So,
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that I think is important for people to know is that whenever you're reading general information that's generally like for most people to be healthy, and it's based on academic study, which, a lot of the information that we get is based on academic study. Those studies are done only on men. Women are not included in those studies because the menstrual cycle is very inconvenient to academic research. So,
I mean, don't get me started on it's inconvenient in other ways too, but anywho.
So if you're reading information about what works best, it could be anything like how long should you recover after you work out, how many times to work out a week, how many minutes, how much protein should you eat after you work out, anything that you read, unless it explicitly gives a women's statistic that is done with research on women, that research, you should assume, and I can't say that it's 100% of the time, but you should assume that that research was done only on men.
Wow.
So there are things that are different if you are a woman biologically, that you are different, period. There's things that are different. And so it's kind of important for us to know what those differences are. A couple examples I could give is, one is your menstrual cycle really matters. So you can lift much heavier when you are ovulating than you can when you are menstruating. And you are much more likely to get injured when you're menstruating, meaning bleeding, than you are when you're ovulating. And so it's pretty important that you are tracking your menstrual cycle and that you actually know where you are on your menstrual cycle. And if you are working with a trainer, it's really helpful if you communicate that to the trainer as well, so that the trainer can make sure to make the workout appropriate for you at the right time of the cycle.
Yeah, I can
Also,
vouch that. Yeah, I mentioned this to you, Alexis, that I have an in-person training client, and whenever it's her time, she's, as soon as the session starts, before I even have a chance to ask her, it's like, by the way, I'm doing this now, so I have no energy, and I'm this and I'm that. It's like, okay, we'll roll with that, and then I adjust her workout based on what she's presenting as far as that goes. So that's also important for your trainer to know.
yeah.
So
And I
sorry, I
think
didn't
for
mean
a
to.
team, what a lot of people also are working with is perimenopause or menopause, right?
Yeah.
So that also is totally a factor. And one of the biggest things with that, number one, is that you start losing muscle mass once you start being in perimenopause and menopause. So strength training is even more important for especially women. Once you hit perimenopause, it's really important. And it'll also support your bone density. And the other thing is cortisol. Cortisol, once you hit perimenopause, it becomes an issue. And so things like high intensity interval training, it becomes important that you are tracking your stress level, and that you are either really pushing hard in intervals, or that you're kind of taking it easy without being in like that middle ground. And we can go more, that's like a whole thing, we can go more into that, but in general, I would just say be conscious of your stress level, and know if you want to ask your doctor to check your cortisol, that would be helpful too.
And one more thing to keep in mind, if you are a woman who lives with a dude and they're doing their strength training and they're putting on muscle like there's no tomorrow, and you're doing the same strength training, maybe with not as exactly the same weights or anything, but seems like it takes forever for you to see gains. Well, that's because the dudes have extra testosterone that makes it a lot easier for them to naturally do that. And so just keep that in mind. Don't compare yourself to your partner in that regard, because you're different. You're different.
Same thing for weight loss too.
Exactly. Yeah. So, Daniela, you're a woman, so let's get you to weigh in here quickly. How have you kind of experienced, navigating your wellness journey as a woman? Have you found that you had to like do the compare and contrast thing, or you had to just speak up to yourself and like be your own advocate in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, I think Alexis talked about the perimenopause stage of life, and that's exactly where I land. So I've had to definitely deal with a lot of those things, and both you and Alexis have been helpful in helping me navigate that, especially through the UNU program. But the other part of it, the whole gender piece, right? The first time I went to the gym and went to the weight section and lifted weights was a little intimidating. I mean, I've gotten better, but there's still that piece to it for me every once in a while.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. The dudes are just jealous if they see you lifting heavy weights. It's like, we lift heavy things in real life. We should be lifting heavy things at the gym if that's what we need to do, right? So
I mean,
we're
it
training
takes
for real
a lot
life.
of, I mean, yeah, I could really go. I guess we
I
probably
know. We really should. We should devote an entire show to this topic. In
There's
fact,
a lot of
we
things
got into
about
this, and
being a woman that takes a lot of strength. Just saying.
Indeed. Okay, I think that's a good place to pull this one into the station. So once again, Daniela, well, we love you. Thank you so much for being a part of our crew. Thank you for joining us on the new UNU program and having faith in us as we launch this for the very first time. And we're getting some really great comments. So Daniela, any parting thoughts before hopefully we see you in class later on, hint, hint?
No, just thank you for having me. It's such a great and wonderful community, and a shout out to all the teammates that are on the live call.
Awesome. Yes, thank you very much. Alexis, thank you. Always, you rock the house. We appreciate you so much and love you.
Aw,
Thank you to everybody that's with us live. Everybody's checking out the recording. Again, if you want to track us down, if you want to join the new You and New program, if you like what you heard, you want to find out more, check that out at thenextfitnessthing.com/you and new, and you'll find us in general at thenextfitnessthing.com. And our Facebook group is open, facebook.com/groups/thenextfitnessthing. Like the videos, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, watch our videos, please and thank you. And join us next Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, and let's high five it and let's dance it out. Boom, for basically St. Patrick's Day weekend, because St. Patty's Day is on Monday. So if you're going to party and observe the occasion, please party safely this weekend. All right, we get it. It's good to let off some steam, but just be safe out there. All right. Let's dance it out. How about it? Woo! There we go. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. There it is. Okay, I was just about to sing. You caught me in the nick of time. Let's see how many times I can make the chair spin this time. Uh-oh. I don't want to fall out of the chair. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm getting busy. All right, that's about it. See you in class, team, 4 p.m. Pacific time. If you want to join me later on today.